Oh, wait. We are live. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Carol Clark here with Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams, and I have a great surprise for you today, a wonderful interview with Dr. Wendy Scinta. Dr. Scinta is in Fayetteville, New York, and that is pretty close to Syracuse, and she has done some amazing things and has some great information to share today. Dr. Scinta is nationally recognized as an expert on adult and childhood obesity. She's an author of a book called Bounce, and the Bounce, a weight loss doctor's plan for a happier, healthier, and slimmer child, which helps prepare parents and caregivers with the care of their overweight children and kind of a family approach to weight loss. So it's been very exciting and has been received as national and international recognition, a fabulous program. She's also the president-elect of the Obesity Medicine Association, which used to be called the American Society for Bariatric Physicians. And she's received numerous awards, such as the prestigious Bariatrician of the Year by that same organization. And she was also voted 2014 America's Top Doctors from the Consumer Research Council of America. She is also a weight loss expert who's been on the Steve Harvey Show. She's actually their weight loss expert. She's also been featured on CNN, Voice of America, John Tesh, Intelligence for Your Health, Say Yes to the Dress, love that show, and Big Bliss Edition, which is on the Learning Channel and PBS. In addition to her book, her research can be found numerous places in the AMA News, Newsday, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Parenting, Bariatric Times, Your Weight Matters, Women's Day, and Women's Health Magazine, among others. She also has a little techie background, a formal electrical and computer engineer, and she'll be telling us a little bit about how she's using those skills today. So without further ado, I had to narrow that down to those things, but I'd really like to welcome Dr. Wendy Scinta here. And I'm going to ask Dr. Scinta, I told sort of the official background of you, but I'd kind of like to hear your story about where you've been and how you got to where you are today. So if you don't mind sharing that, letting our listeners get to know you a little bit better, that would be great.
Sure, that would be fine. So I have kind of a twisted road to obesity medicine, but I started as an electrical and computer engineer and did that for 6 years at Xerox, and at the time got a master's degree in electrical and computer engineering with a little bit of biomedical in it. So I knew I was kind of heading into the healthcare field in some way. I just wasn't sure that I was going to make the final leap. But during that time, I really met a great mentor who said, just do it, Wendy, be a doctor. Who cares if you're so old when you're done? So I did do it and went to Syracuse and got my did a residency in family medicine at Duke. And that's actually where I got interested in weight loss. I had a wonderful clinic there at the time called the Rice Clinic, and I did a rotation through it, and I said, oh, this is for me. I really want to help people reverse diseases and get healthy, and I think that's what obesity medicine's all about. So love what I do.
Well, great. It's really apparent. And I know you do lots of great things with your patients and also whether they're adults or children, but you're also a pretty great businesswoman. So for somebody who was just starting out and wanting to start a weight loss practice, how about digging into those top 3 business tips that you would probably have for that person? What would you give them as advice as the top 3 tips for building their business?
So, if we're talking about someone who's just starting out, I think the number one thing is you really have to set yourself apart as a specialist. So especially if you're in the primary care world going into it, I was a family practitioner, and then I got some secondary training in obesity medicine, and then I sat for the obesity medicine boards, which are called ABOM, American Board of Obesity Medicine. And so number one, I think I would, if you want people to respect you as an obesity medicine specialist, it's always good to get the formal credentials through ABOM. So that is one thing I would say, do it, go for it, and make sure you really are top at your field. The other thing is, I think from a business standpoint, you really have to think outside the box when it comes to obesity medicine. So I never really thought much about the whole insurance-based business model versus working outside of it. And even though I'm in a community where I serve different people of different levels of affluence, I find working in an out-of-network model works the best for weight loss. So consider that. And then I would also say, make sure you communicate really well with the other doctors who you work alongside with. In other words, the primary care doctor of the physicians, of the patients you take care of, and their cardiologist, and everyone that you coordinate care with, because that will help you get more patients, and it also keeps the lines of communication open, which everybody wants.
Right, right. Can you think about a couple of really specific strategies that you did early on to grow your business that really brought in some great results for you?
Yes, I think, for me, as I said, I was a family practitioner first. So one of the things I did was I actually fed my weight loss practice with my family medicine patients. So I kind of feel like I had a foot on both sides. So half the week I worked in family medicine, and the other half a week I worked in weight loss. And they were two completely different practices, although they were under the same roof. One was Innetwork, one was not. And it really helped me to get a comfort level with the obesity medicine component, but it also helped me get that initial group of patients that then went on to tell other patients about the care. So I think that was huge. And I think from a business standpoint too, just using your existing patients to help feed your practice is huge. You want them to be your spokespeople. You want them to go out and tell everybody else about their wonderful experience at your clinic. So offering rewards of some type for them. We give like free product and things like that for every referral that's worth $100. So really using your existing patients to feed your practice is, I think, an important thing.
Okay, great. So initially you saw a lot of your initial patients come since they were existing patients. And talk just, this is a little off topic a little bit, but when you talk about in-network and out-of-network, can you specify a little bit more about what you mean and how you kind of made that leap?
It's something that you probably don't know much about when you're working in just a standard practice where you take insurance, but you actually have the capability, any practicing physician or clinician does, to either work under the insurance model, or excuse me, in a system where you don't take insurance. And when you do that, you can actually change the way you bill, you can change the way you charge. We have a cash-based practice, so what we do is we have patients pay us, and then we give them the super bills and have them submit the super bills with help from our staff. And that way they actually have out-of-network benefits to help them get reimbursed. And it's so helpful for so many reasons. I mean, probably the most important of which is that obesity medicine, if you really code appropriately, isn't going to get you the coverage that you deserve for the amount of time that you spend on there, and also for the money that you're saving the insurance company. So, really being creative and coming up with a model that's different helps so much with not only your practice and how it feeds itself, but also long-term banking issues, and not having to feel like you're constrained by what insurance tells you have to charge and how much time you have to work. So, for example, we, when I was in family practice, it was a very quick, everybody knows that who's in primary care, you see your patient, you run to the next, you run to the next. You always feel like you're never going fast enough, and you're never giving the level of care that you like to give. And here I can spend a good amount of time with patients and not have to worry about, overhead and billing costs and stuff like that, because I don't bill.
Right, right. I think that's a hard leap for some people to make, but I know here we do that same thing with the cash pay for the medical weight loss, and it really does make a difference, and kind of makes it a little bit more enjoyable at times for you, and believe it or not, for the patients. And you do save the insurance company money, and long term, I think the patient as well. Do you agree?
Yes, and also there's skin in the game for the patient, right? So I think that it really helps the patient to know, I've invested time, money, and effort into this, and I have a little bit more incentive to keep pushing forward to reach my goal.
Right, right. So there's lots of great things that, and I see a lot of really happy bariatricians and physicians who are dealing with patients that are trying to lose weight, because you see success and because you have a little bit more control over your practice. So I think that's one of the keys to building a weight loss practice of your dreams too. But there's also a few frustrations that come along with every practice. Name a couple of the frustrations that you see in your practice and how you're dealing with them, if you could.
I think the biggest frustration I had initially, at least, is really just having, I was the first obesity medicine specialist in the area, and so having to contend with the constant ridicule of my colleagues until they realized I was practicing sound medicine. So That's something that you have to just, again, I think I mentioned this already, but just you have to communicate really, really well with your colleagues and make sure that they understand that you're not trying to take over the patient's primary care. You are simply there as a specialist to help that patient reach their health goals and get off of medications. And something that I think advice-wise that I could give is, understand your different colleagues. Some of them want to be included in every decision you make as far as med changes, and some just want you to go and do your thing. So once you get a level of comfort with that, it goes much more smoothly.
Right. I can imagine. You are really on the cutting edge of a lot of aspects of medical weight loss, and you also hold a number of very desirable and high-level positions. And you've done a lot to grow your practice and also the specialty of obesity medicine. What do you think the future for weight loss and for obesity medicine? What do you think the future holds for practitioners?
I think it holds, truthfully, it's endless what you can do in this field. And part of it is because, sadly, obesity is attached to just about every major chronic disease, including cancer. So we will always have, a home, we'll always have a position. Right now, clinicians are looking at value-based incentives, which means that they have to have healthy patients in order to get paid appropriately. So timing-wise, it couldn't be a better time to go into obesity medicine. As far as what does the future hold? I think we're learning how to incorporate, I'm a big techno nerd, so incorporating technology in to really help us be more efficient clinicians. There's ways to use technology that make you more efficient and make you better, and then there's ways to incorporate technology that just distract and are intrusive to the care you give to the patient. So, a great example is electronic medical records. In some cases, it helped the quality, but in so many cases, it destroyed the patient-physician relationship. So there's great ways to incorporate technology that actually help you with weight loss and staying engaged with your patients during the maintenance stages, and really helping that patient to live a long, happy life. We are such a huge part of that, how that patient lives and how long they live, by doing the disease reversal component we do with obesity medicine. So it's really exciting to think about the different ways you can go with this, I guess.
Right. Talk a little bit. I know you don't just you sort of practice what you preach, which is one of the things I really like about you. And you're also, you're a great advocate for your patients and also for your own personal health. Tell me, what is something that you do that some of your personal health habits that attributes to your success?
Wow. So I love to run. So that's my thing. I really, really love to get out and go for a good run. And I'm in upstate New York, where sometimes it can be very challenging to go out and run. But for me, it clears my head. It helps me think about new concepts and new creative things we can incorporate in. I'm very involved in the community. I created an arm of my practice that really works on incorporating different practices into underserved areas. And I think, to me, that is something that I enjoy doing in my personal time that makes me feel like I can take care of people even if they can't afford to come to my practice. So that's part of it. And I eat healthy. I am such a goody two shoes. I can't sit around and tell people about things that I want them to do if I'm not doing it myself. So I log everything. If I eat something bad in a day, one of my patients is going to hear about it because we end up incorporating it into a story somehow. But I love to walk the walk and talk the talk the best I can. We all have bad days, and I share those days with people. But I think it's really important to be able to show them, I am here doing it with you. I am engaged with you. We're going to go through this together. It's a huge, huge important component of it.
Right. Okay, great. And I'm going to actually probably turn this podcast into 2 parts because I've got a number of more questions for you. But before we end this particular episode, for this one, talk just a little bit about your book, Bounce, the book that you've written, because I think that's another obvious way that you've brought sort of the family back into it, and you have really practical advice in there and helpful things for families. So can you talk just a little bit about your book and what that brings?
From 2 to 3. Ask up front. I'm sorry. Can
Oh,
you close the door? Oh my Lord! Even when I reserve a room, they're trying
We
to
can edit that. That's no big deal. We can edit it.
the third time I've been punted. Okay, the bounce book, is that what you asked about?
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think your bounce book has a lot of really practical advice right there for with the family. So
Right. So yeah, I wrote the book because you know, I found that there's very few people who focus on weight loss in children in obesity medicine. Although we're starting to be a growing trend, which is exciting. So, excuse me, I had so much you know, experience with these kids, and I thought, if I can do something that's going to be able to help patients that can't make their way into my clinic, wouldn't that be great? That's something that can get carried on from family to family. So I wrote the book. It's based on my program called Bounce, and the letters stand for something. B stands for behavioral modification and biguanide, which is, you know, let's focus on the behaviors of the family, how we eat, what we do.
I'm sorry, you have the root book. Sorry.
Carol, let me call you back.
okay, no problem.
Okay, where's Linda? She's the one who gave me this room. Lynn. Hi, you guys need to communicate it. I put you in. Yes, there's people in there. Lynn looked it up and said, okay, everybody's here. So. I'll be back.
Okay.
No, I think they're just having issues scheduling. They're not talking to each other.
No, you can log in. I mean, we just schedule our things. You're not taking someone else's word for it. Back here.
Be back in a sec.
No problem.
Okay, where am I going?
Checking to see. Anybody in the chat now except BJ's. What's that? It's not working now.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, this is nice. What's this matter? I just need to finish. Can I go in here?
Yeah.
Thank you. You're still there? Oh my God, I am telling you.
Do they not know who they're dealing with? Like, who there could be more important than you?
Oh my gosh. You know, and I'm you know, I'm so not like that, right? But it's just, it's so ridiculous. My schedule is so tightly timed that, you know, when you're running around getting kicked out of rooms, it's totally annoying.
So are you actually at, like, is that your building, or is that like you rent space there, or?
It's a place called the Tech Garden. So it's meant for like people for startups, basically. You get a tax break, and there's a bunch of startups, and actually our software people that we work with are a startup too. And it's nice because we're so co-located.
Yeah.
But I guess they've had a lot of issues with support of the area. This is what happens when you put something like this in the middle of a busy city. There's been a suicide right outside our window. A guy jumped from the parking garage. There's people getting accosted all the time. So I think that that's maybe one of the reasons why, a lot of people have left. And so when you're trying to schedule rooms and stuff like that, there's very few support people. And I think
Wow, that's scary. Get back to Fayetteville.
Yeah. What's that?
I said, get back to Fayetteville. It's safer there.
I know. We've talked about it. Like, we really don't want to be in here. My poor little 25-year-old colleague who works with me at 3 Pound, watched this guy jump to his death. It was so horrible.
Oh,
I mean, that's traumatic.
oh, that's terrible.
All right. So, sorry. Okay. Let's get back to business here.
So, that's okay. Why don't we just start with like, let's go back to where you're talking about the book. That'd be a good place to,
Okay.
yeah.
And you can cut all that crap out, right?
Oh, yeah. No problem. We can edit it, and then we'll split off the video and audio, and we'll put bumpers on it, and it's all good.
Okay, so the bounce book. So I forgot how far I got. I was starting to describe what they were, right? With the letters.
Start at the beginning of the bounce book. So tell us a little bit about the bounce book.
Okay, so the bounce book was a book that I wrote for parents and caregivers to help overweight and obese children, and just to sort of give them some guidelines on what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, how to function as a family, what kind of issues can you run into with your child that you may want to bring up with your clinician. If you enjoy working on health and obesity, how can you take it into your community? A whole bunch of things. But BOUNCE actually stands for something, and it stands for B stands for behavioral modification. We really focus on the behavior of the family, not just the child. The child is often fed by someone else who's purchasing the food. So what are they doing? Are they eating in the car? Are they eating out a lot? Are they ever sitting down as a family at the table? That kind of thing. And B is also for biguanide, which is a medicine also known as metformin, which really helps with hunger in children. And there's been some great studies behind it. O is optimizing patients eat 5 times a day, and everything has a component of protein in it with a healthy, with or without a healthy fat, and a healthy carbohydrate that is complex carbohydrate, not the starchy carbs and things like that. U is united as a family. Every change that is made by the entire family. So it means that little sister Sue is not over in the corner eating her ice cream saying you can have this. It really has to be something that is done by the entire family for it to stick. N is notation of food and notation of calories, which we do electronically if the child can. And then E is elimination diet, where we look at their food and we start to take out the bad stuff and very slowly and covertly putting in the healthier foods. Right.
That's awesome, because I know in our experience it's very hard to counsel any children without including the entire family. So you've really been a pioneer in that whole area and have done great work. It's awesome. So the book has been very successful, as well as the program, internationally known. So
research in Portugal recently and in Brazil. So it's really exciting to see it getting translated and to actually work on the group activities and stuff with families. And even though there's cultural differences, it really is still the same issues: eating healthy, things that come from the ground, foods as a family, cooking together, eating together, and really paying attention to what's going in your mouth, making it an active thing, not a passive thing.
Right. And think of the long-term effects that can have, because if they learn those habits at an early age, how they can continue to carry that on and influence their own children. So that really has some promising future for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So true.
So awesome. So tell our listeners a little bit about how they can reach you if they had questions about any of your research, and also the awesome things that you're doing, or some of the listeners may be right near you there in New York and want to come find you.
So my weight loss website is weightlosscny.com, and there's an adult and a children section. You can look in there and look at former patients and kind of get a little feel for what our program's all about. The book itself is available online in both in print form at our website, and also it's in every electronic form. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it through Kindle, iPad, etc. for your iPad or iPhone. And I also have the Dr. Wendy Diet site, and that is where the site where we are going to eventually be launching our community effort. But right now, has a lot of the things I'm doing on media and stuff like that. So any of those places.
And that was what, drwendydiet.com? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And then just think about for the Obesity Medicine Association, you'll be president there in which year do you become president?
So I'm currently president-elect. So in 2 years from now, I'll be president. So spending the next 2 years learning the ropes, getting to know people across the world who do what we do. And, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's fascinating.
Yeah, well, you're doing great things. And we were just honored to have you on the show, so I really appreciate it. So I want to thank you for your time. And we're going to actually be doing part 2 shortly, where Dr. Scinta is going to talk a little bit more tech, which is something that everybody's interested in, better ways to engage your patients, which is so important for ultimate success. So without further ado, we're going to end today's recording. And I want to thank Dr. Scinta again for taking the time out of her very busy schedule to be with us. So thanks, Dr. Scinta.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay. Oops. Thanks, Wendy. That's what I was going to say.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Someone better be a good editor. What a clusterfuck that was.
Like, I'll go like just this part. Normally I clap for her, and then I'll clap and go like wherever you see the claps, because you'll see this, you know, it'll all go up, and she'll know like go to that part. But other times she'll just listen through it and know where to edit.
Oh, okay. So you have someone who does that for you?
Yeah, I actually have. We used to do a lot of that ourselves. Well, Tom does it himself sometimes, but I actually have one of our staff members. She's our she's in charge of the fitness center and the education, and she does counseling. But she has this great. I actually have centered for training. She does graphic design now for me, and she does editing, and she just loves that stuff. So I'll like write blogs and do all that stuff, and then she'll pretty it all up and post it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it's been really helpful. I mean, you can get so much more done, and she loves it. And I just integrate it right into her job. So anyhow, so that's been kind of cool. So she does it for the Weight Loss Center for Weight Loss Success, and then also for Weight Loss Practice Builder. So it's fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You still there? I think you froze. Were you there? I might need you to come back in. Are you there?
Yeah. I know we froze.
Are you wireless probably? Are you wireless? You're actually am I frozen too? You are frozen. All right, so I don't know if I stop it.
Okay, I'm trying to log back in.
Okay. Are you wireless? Probably, because you're moving all over the place?
Yes.
That might have something to do with it. So I wonder if I'm going to have to stop it and then start it again.
I'm back.
Are you back? Okay. Did it actually let you back in?
I think so. But it says you're on the next circle. Hold on.
Oh, wait, there you are. Okay. Turn my phone off.
You there?
Yeah. So, so now that you had to log back in, it lost your lower third. But since you saved it, it'll be really easy. Just go to that toolbox and go to your saved preset and turn it on.
Okay, hang on. Okay, hold on. So go to my
Toolbox guy, and then at the bottom it'll say save preset. I don't know if you named it or not.
There was an error. Okay, so it's not there right now?
No. Did you have something
Okay.
under save preset? Is there a name there or anything that's there?
And, there's nothing there.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Okay. Right.
What time's your next meeting? I know we're getting close to. Do
What's wrong?
you have another appointment you have to be at? I just don't want to take too much of your time.
I do. For my braces, 3:45, that'll be all right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make the next one quick.
I'd never lose my temper, but that just pissed me off.
What's the nerve? Nerve of these people. And he kept coming back. You're like, hey, I'm in the middle of being interviewed.
He was a dickhead. He's probably like about 25, maybe younger. He's like, come on, guys, let's just start. I'm like, really? Is that how your world works?
Did he know like you were being? You could have said I was like, who knows? You were being interviewed by Fox News or something.
It wouldn't have mattered to him. Okay. All right, I'm going to put Wendy lower third as a saved thing, and that way.
Yeah, and then from now on all your, if you do another one.
All right, now, is it there? Do you see it?
Turn it on up at the top. There, where it says, there you go. I see it.
All right, so yeah, there we go. Is that good?
Yep, it's there.
All right. My goodness gracious, girl.
Okay, all right. And I'm using this because I'm trying to help build like sort of a following, because from the business side of building medical weight loss, I mean, you may be wondering like, why is she even doing this podcast? From the business side, I'd like to build a little bit of a following. And then as I get further out, I'd like to really help with consulting with practices for the business side of it, you know, the marketing and the business side of it to build their practice, and also how to build
That's a great idea.
A profitable store. My next product I want to be to have, because I think, I don't even know if there's a big interest, but you know, to build a really profitable store, something
that would be great.
Because I don't think a lot of physicians, or not physicians, I don't know that a lot of them know how to, like they may be doing it out of a closet, which is fine as long as it's profitable, but trying to help people figure out what to offer and what to have in a store. And I'd almost like to create a little product like a store in a box, so to speak, where I can recommend certain things and kind of get it going. Because
that would be awesome.
I don't know about you, but that's like a huge
profit source.
A big revenue stream. So yeah,
definitely.
That's one of the things I'd like to kind of build sort of following them, be able to help people as if they don't know what to do to get the business side going. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. You'll do great.
Do you think there's a need out there for it?
Of course. I'm still trying to build my store.
Like the store,
you know,
the whole marketing. Like the whole marketing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's so important.
Right. And I love doing that part, you know, helping people write books or author, if they have like their educational materials, they don't know how to structure them and they need help in developing it into a membership site or all that sort of stuff. I'd really like to help physicians or practices that don't know how to do that, kind of make that happen. So, or use the one we've created, the My Weight Loss Academy. So
yeah,
anyhow,
definitely.
That's kind of where I'm going. So, anyhow, okay. But I want to talk a little bit about tech with you. So.
Okay, good.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start now. I'm going to clap just so she knows we're starting a new one. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. We are here for part 2 with Dr. Wendy Scinta from Fayetteville, New York. And Dr. Scinta is a very well-established and respected bariatrician who is known internationally for her work with adults and children. And we're just lucky to have her back here to talk about something that a lot of practitioners have questions about, and something that you may not know is part of her background. So I was going to welcome once again Dr. Wendy Scinta, and wondered if you could talk a little bit about, we've talked a bit in the past about your clinical background, but a little bit about your techie side that maybe everyone doesn't know about.
Sure. So I was an electrical and computer engineer before I became a physician, and always, you know, I think when you have your nerd side, it's hard to get rid of it. It just sort of stays with you, and you start to think about how can I use some of these skills to help me in my new field, which is now medicine. So what ended up happening was I was invited to become part of a startup. The name of the company is called 3 Pound Health, and basically it's a company that's created by myself and Dr. Robert Corona, who happens to be a very brilliant technical and informatics physician engagement platform. It's actually an enterprise.
Hey, Wendy, wait. Hey, Wendy, you're kind of coming in. You're kind of coming in and out.
An app.
Oh, wait, Wendy, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
A patient dashboard that allows them on, they're going to end up doing very well long term and get to maintenance. And so we actually have a maintenance program now we never had before.
Wendy, I hate to tell you this,
Yeah.
but you were like coming, I don't know if it's your connection or what, but you were going in and out from the time you said, it's a startup with me and.
Oh, no.
No, I'm so sorry, but it goes like this. It goes.
Oh.
I know,
You know,
I know.
maybe, Carol, should we, why don't I do this?
You want to do it when you're back? Is that what you're saying? I did. I don't know. I've got this picture of you like with your head to the side talking. But right. And I don't know if it's because you're wireless. That could have something to do with it. It might be a connection thing. Who knows? It does, yeah. It wasn't that way before. And I'm here all day. I'm here for whatever. But I've got one 5 o'clock meeting that's going to take like from 5 to 6 here with the hospital that I've got to do. But we've got the first. We got the first because you might not be back. I don't know if you've got an appointment at 3:45. Right. Yeah, I've got a. So okay. All right. Sounds good. And then we'll just see if it works with your schedule or if you're busy with the kids or whatever. I'll just text you or call you then. Okay. That's all right. Thanks so much. All right. Bye.